Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy, your dog, and your homie, Ryan Mehalic here, coming at you with 12 things you did not know about BTB battles. Yes, sir. I haven't made a list video like this before, so it's gonna be fun. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I'm guessing you guys didn't know, and let me know in the comment section below how many of these 12 things you did indeed know. I would be curious. Before I worked on this video, I think I knew probably like 8 or 7. Maybe 9, I am not entirely sure, but yeah. And if you enjoyed today's video at any point, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I have a big goal of hitting 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I can't do it without your guys' support, so I would appreciate that. But without further ado, here we go. Thank you guys so much. So the first thing on this list involves the engineer, and if you guys have ever used engineer before, it can be really annoying when your sentry guns spawn in spots that necessarily aren't very effective for hitting the balloons. Like these spots up here, for example, they won't hit a single balloon on the track. So how do you control where your sentries will spawn? Well, there's actually a way you can do this without spending any money in game, and that is with the use of farmers. Most people don't know about this, but if you actually spam farmers really close together around the engineer, it will control where the sentries place, pretty much where the farmers aren't in its range. So I'll show you once I'm done placing these farmers what I mean. So after you have placed all of your farmers, you will now see that the whole range of the engineer is covered in farmers except this small area. And as you can see, all of the sentries will spawn in this area, making it so you can essentially control where your sentries will spawn, so they spawn in effective defending locations and maximize the popping power. So that is number 1. I'll catch you all in the next one. So those of you that are not new to the game know that there used to be a ninja sabotage glitch where the sabotage supply line ability could last longer than 15 seconds if it was in effect before like a balloon came out on the screen. It would be sabotage the whole time. But they have recently actually removed that, saying they removed every glitch that allows the sabotage to last longer than its intended time of 15 seconds. But this is actually not true. There's still a glitch that's in effect, and I'll show you guys what it is. So the way you actually perform this sabotage glitch is during the 15-second duration that the ability is in effect, you will have to pop the ZMG into Moabs, and then if it's done correctly, the Moabs will be stalled for an additional 15 seconds. So I'll show you what I mean right now. We use the ability 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. As you can see, it's still slowed down. And the crazy part is if any AI balloons come out, you can see that Moab is actually full speed, but the ones that were from the ZMG are still stalled from the sabotage. So you can actually have stalled and unstalled balloons on the screen at the same time, which is pretty nuts to think about. But that is how you perform it. And the weird thing about this is it works on any balloon getting popped down 2 layers. So I'll just show you right now. It'll work on a BFB into ceramics as well here. So we send a BFB our way. We're gonna get 5 of these up. Use the sabotage ability. We'll pop it, and then we're gonna pop all of these layers. And now if I send ceramics, you can see those ceramics are full speed, but the ones that came out of the BFB are still slowed down. So it's a very interesting thing. You can pretty much use it during strategies that you have ninja with. It's very hard to pull off, but it can help your defense a ton if done correctly. So the next 2 things on the list actually both involve the balloon shipper. Probably honestly the worst tower in Bloons DT battles in my opinion, but it definitely is a very interesting tower. So the first one is if you use a village with it, and the village has Monkey Intelligence Bureau, which allows all nearby towers to pop all balloon types. That's not actually true, because if you have this with the balloon chipper, the chipper will not pop leads. So it's a very little known fact that the village ability does not work on the chipper, but it does work on every other balloon that would not normally pop leads, as you can see here. So yeah. And then the next one, so number 4, which involves a chipper as well, is there's this chipper glitch that most people don't know about, where say you have the super wide funnel up, and this will easily pop a BFB, but say you want to sell your chipper to get up more defense for like the balloons inside. What you can actually do is once it sucks in the BFB, you sell that, and then you can get up some blade maelstroms or whatever, and the BFB layer will still be popped even though the chipper was still not there, if that makes sense. And then obviously that just easily defends it. So that's an interesting thing about the chipper, is that you don't necessarily need to keep it up the whole time. Once it hits the top layer of the balloon, it will finish shredding it, even if the chipper is not there. You can also do this with ceramics inside of a Moab as well. So just to give you a kind of an idea of what that would look like, is someone sends you a Moab, you have the chipper down to pick up the ceramics, and then once the ceramics are put in, you can sell the chipper, upgrade your defense, and then just wait for the ceramics to come out. It looks kind of weird, I know, but it is very useful if you kind of use it correctly, knowing that the chipper will still shred the layers even if the chipper is not on the map. And that is number 4. I'll catch you in the next one. So the 5th thing on this list will involve the water towers, the sub, and the boat. The first one involves the boat. So if you go to round 92, not many people have gotten this far in the game before, and you use the boat pull ability, everyone thinks, oh, the boat pull just insta-kills any BFB. Well, starting around 92, that's not actually the case. Most people don't know about this, but if you send a BFB, these BFBs are so strong, the boat pull will actually pop it into Moabs, which is pretty crazy. I thought as well that it just insta-kills any BFB. It says ability grabbles the nearest Moab and brings it down. That is not true, as it cannot pull it. Now the next one on this list involves the reactor. So the reactor has this really interesting property where if you read its description, it reduces water tower cooldowns by 15%, which most people have looked over. People don't really know about it. They think of the reactor as just something that pops balloons a ton and decamos, which obviously is its main purpose, but you can actually use this knowledge to help you out a ton when you have sub in your loadout, as there's a thing called reactor stacking, where if you have multiple of these, it'll pretty much stack on top of each other and reduce the cooldown of water towers by even more than 15%, and you can get some pretty insane ability cooldown times. I'll catch y'all when I get this reactor setup done with a ton of reactors. Alright, I have placed all the subs down. All of these subs should be in range of the 1 first strike capability, and we're going to see how fast we can get the ability cooldown to. You'll see it's literally insane. Like every second you can use the ability, which honestly gets super strong. So after we get all these reactors down, additionally, if you have village in your loadout with sub, you can actually use the monkey beacon to farther decrease the ability cooldown by another, 33%, I think? No, 30%, yeah. So I'll decrease it by 30%, and let's just go around 30 ZOMGs. So they're ramped by a decent bit. So we just send like, how much of these are we gonna send? I'll send like 50, and we'll see how this does. 50 ZOMGs versus 1 submarine. Here we go. I don't actually know if that's 50, but look how fast I'm using the ability. It's literally insane how fast you can use it. There's like 0 cooldown, bro. I'm tapping as fast as humanly possible, and I'm not even sure if I'm hitting it enough. So it looks like it is going to get overrun by Moabs, but the point still remains that it's like, you can see how fast the ability comes back, right? And it shredded all the ZOMG and BFB layers out of 50 round 30 ZOMGs, which is also insane. Now, another thing you can do here is, instead of using a first strike capability in there, you can actually use a boat if I can place it. Yeah, you can place a boat in there, and then the boat pull ability will actually come back fast. So this one's actually might be more satisfying to watch because you can just see me boat pull like 100 BFBs. We're just gonna send out like so many BFBs here and see how many one boat pull can bring in. How many one boat pull can do, boys? Look at it go. That's so funny to watch. This is real time, by the way. This video is not sped up in the slightest. This is real time for how fast the one boat pull is working. So yeah, it's a pretty insane thing. And that is the next one on the list. So the next one on this list actually involves the Super Monkey. And so if you space out your Super Monkeys pretty well, you can fit about 11, you might be able to fit 12 if you do it better, temples on a map with ideal spacing. So this is great if you're trying to go late game. You want to space your Super Monkeys out the best as possible so you can have the most firepower on the map, since the temple is obviously the strongest tower in the game. Right now I'm not doing any of the sacrifices to them, I'm just showing you for the spacing purposes. But yeah, there is 11 temples, but it's actually possible to fit many more temples than this, and I'll show you how. So believe it or not, it's possible to turn all of these sun gods actually into temples each using a simple power called tower blindness. Now you need to be working in partnership with your opponent to do this, but if they tower blindness your towers, since the range is going to be so much smaller, the temple is going to sacrifice a lot less area of towers. Thus, you're going to be able to place your temples a lot closer to each other. And I'll show you what I mean right now. I use tower blindness, use that, and we're going to turn all of these into temples that I can. So after placing, upgrading, and spacing out temples, as long as I'd like to say, I have fit 42 temples on the map, which is pretty insane. I definitely think it's possible to fit more, so if you want to try, make sure to try and let me know how many you fit in the comment section down below. But yeah, using the tower blindness can be very effective in fitting temples. So the next one on the list involves the ice tower. You can actually infinitely stall balloons using a thing called triple ice. Basically use 3 ice towers with precise timing and placements, and doing so will infinitely stall balloons in a certain place. I'll try to do it right now for you guys. And you need to make every ice tower have enhanced freeze for it to work as well. Look at that, first try I do it. That's pretty hype. So yeah, as you can see, none of the balloons aren't moving at all. And the great thing is, if you have good ice spins, this will actually catch all the pink balloons you need and all that type of stuff. It will catch ceramics, pretty much anything that ice towers will catch. The downside is it does have a pierce limit, so eventually the ice will get overrun. Additionally, if you have a village alongside with it, you can actually get the Monkey Intelligence Bureau, which will make this be able to pick up zebra balloons as well, zebras and whites. So there isn't a single rush that'll get through this until the ice hits pierce limit, which is pretty insane. So very interesting thing you can do with ice towers. It's very hard to pull off though, you need very precise timing. Alright, so the next one on the list, people call it the GZ glitch. Basically, it's when you use a ground zero and the Moabs that are being ground zeroed end up popping into ceramics, as you can see right there. Now, the thing is, this is not actually a glitch. This is, you can easily replicate it. It's an intentional game design, as most people don't know. So, around 34 Moab, it's a lot stronger than around 1 Moab. It gets ramped up in health. And if you just use a ground zero without touching the Moab at all, it's not going to pop the Moab. The Moab still stands, right? But if you actually end up hurting the Moab a bit with any sort of tower, like an ODS, for example, then you can end up having the Moab be damaged enough where instead of just staying up, it'll pop down into ceramics. And this will happen every single time if you hurt the Moab a certain amount. As you can see there, it popped down into ceramics. And additionally, if you pop down into the Moab enough before you use the ground zero ability, then it will pop all the way down and pop the balloons inside, and there will be no so-called glitch. But this is not a GZ glitch as many people call it to be. This is simply a game mechanic where the mob has enough health and it just pops into ceramics because you didn't damage the mob enough. So the next one on this list actually involves farm placements. So a lot of these maps, like Farmyard for example, people often place 6 farms on the map, 3 right here, and then can I place you? 3 right here, and then 3 on this right side, and they stop farming because they think this is the max. But the truth is, it's not actually the max. You can actually fit 8 farms on Farmyard. It's very difficult, but if you can do it, it makes a huge difference for your late game with your loadout, because you're getting, what, 25% more income, 33% more income? I don't really know the math, but yeah, 8 farms versus 6 factories can make a big difference. And here's the screenshot of Farmyard. And additionally, there's other maps that you can do this on as well, which makes a huge difference. One of them is Mountain Pass. You can fit 3 farms actually, which is a huge difference from 2, obviously. And additionally, on Racetrack, you can actually fit 6 farms. I know on Racetrack all the time, I struggle fitting like 4, so 6 is definitely a big step up from that. So the next one actually involves the Bloon Trap and the Distraction Ninja. So I was never really able to properly get this glitch to work, but basically the premise behind this glitch is that the balloon trap can actually spawn off of the map by trying to pick up a distracted balloon. I have screenshots of this, which I'll show right now, but it's very rare, but it can happen. It's definitely interesting. It will also work. It also works with a tornado wizard. Basically, anything that can throw a balloon kind of off of the normal track, it can make the balloon trap actually spawn off of the track. So the last and final thing you did not know about BTD battles is known as attrition farming. So basically, every 15 seconds, the attrition will take 2 lives from your opponent. However, once your opponent gets down to 1 life, it actually starts giving you money every 15 seconds. In Bonanza, that'd be $60, and in normal, that's $30. But yeah, most people don't know about this because it doesn't say anything about giving money in the upgrade, and it's not common for attrition to be used in the first place. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe. As I said before, we're trying to hit 10k subscribers by the end of the year, and I put a lot of work into this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Ryan Mehalic out. Peace, lads.